XRP holders, this is definitely something that you do want to watch out for here on the short term. I'm going to cover some things that I do think the overall investor should know about XRP. XRP had a really nice run around 2% just within around 24 hours. We did also see a cross of the moving averages here multiple times, seeing that double top. We did see it cross again on the moving average coming from the trade deals. Also looks like we're getting closer back to below the moving average here on the short term. There are a few things that I do think that we should be watching out for here. On the hourly time frame, you can kind of see that we're still kind of consolidating right here. We did have that bouncing back and forth, and now we're just consolidating right here on the moving average. Nice little run back up, and we're barely moving up here on the short term. This is on the hourly. If you take a look at the 4 hour, you can kind of see the last 24 hours has been pretty much stable. We're not really moving that much, staying between the 316 and the 322. With a nice little run up here earlier today as we get closer back 317 to 322 due to the trade deals about China and the U.S. pausing them for around 90 more days. So there is some opportunity there as well. So that's something that we do got to watch out for here on the short term. I do still think that we're going to see an increase here on XRP. You got to think right now, if you take a look at this level here on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, you'll also notice that we have similarities to back when we was back here. So you can kind of see how they're still correlating along that line here on the short term. Breaking below the moving average would break us down below closer to that 296, if not a little bit lower. This is going to be a huge move. Breaking out of this would send us back closer to that 350. I do think that we're going to see that 353 here soon. There is a lot of opportunity still coming within the market. If you take a look at the daily, you see that nice little big pump here. Everybody is hoping that this is going to be like a long-term bull flag. If it is, we might see that retest back to 366. We might even push around $4 if that does happen. So you got to really make sure that you pay attention to this next move. I think tomorrow is going to be the big day here for us on the short term. We do got some volatility and some volume coming here. But the biggest thing on XRP to really watch out for is going to be this hourly time frame, as we have huge resistance here for the last around 16 hours. We are finally just now in a positive moving average here. Also could be seeing that increase. You see it kind of pumping up. A lot of people thought it was going to be a small head and shoulders, knocking us back down to that $3. We're holding along this line pretty good. I don't think it's going to be the head and shoulders. I think that's going to push us up a little higher, at least to the 330s here on the short term. But if we do start to drop below this moving average, there's possibility we might see that gap fill closer to that 302, if not below that $3 here soon. If you take a look at Ethereum, Ethereum's been climbing. XRP has not. Ethereum has been moving a lot more due to BlackRock, Fidelity, and them buying around 500 to 600 million overnight, every night, pretty much for the last few weeks. That's due to a lot of supply and demand. You're seeing a lot of big movement coming on Ethereum from that. Everybody does think that the Ethereum cycle this time is getting ready to blow through the all-time high. I also agree with that. I think Ethereum is getting ready to see that all-time high again. Probably trying to get closer to that $5,000 to $6,000 range. I think there's a lot of opportunity in Ethereum. Definitely with a lot of the people's movement that we've seen lately that's investing huge money and huge volume coming into the charts here on the short term. There's tons of well activity in XRP and Ethereum. But I do think on XRP that movement back to the 350s is highly possible. Need to break above this support right here, right around the 322. You can see here we also rejected it right here. Rejected it here again. We also rejected it here in the past. We've been seeing kind of like a small head and shoulders pattern, as you guys can see. We've been consolidating quite a lot, so there's still a lot of opportunity for it to come here on the short term. I also think HBAR is also seeing a similarity as well, similar to XRP. HBAR did pretty good because of the Robinhood listing, but I do think with Ethereum getting ready to pump, we're going to see XRP and HBAR both pump right behind it. The target would be right around that 358 here as we get closer. This would gap fill this back up on XRP. This would also be a good clear signification move as we get closer back, closer to that 346. Going to be some tough resistance right there. More than likely we'll then see around that 350, 360 range on XRP. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. Thank every one of you all for watching.